This is John LeBaron with Chimney Check Professionals. This is the video portion of my inspection. This is where I take a look at the inner walls of the chimney system. There's more that I do as part of my inspection, so ensure you review my written report for all my findings and recommendations. So what we're looking at right here is the top of the chimney, or top of the flue, basically the exit point. We can see vegetation nearby, so the trees are a bit closer to the chimney. This is a clay liner, so we have that for about 4 feet of the chimney. And this is where the two clay tiles join. And then at the very bottom of the clay tile, we have what we call the smoke chamber part, which is basically our transition to the flue. And this is probably where, well, other than the fact that our chimney is shorter than it should be, the clay tiles themselves, the two that are installed, I wouldn't have anything to talk about other than it's too short. And then the smoke chamber is where I would talk about the most as far as maybe fire safety, and I would talk about that as far as the ability of the system to draft is somewhat hindered because of the shape of it. The smoke chamber is rough in nature, the surfaces, flat where it meets the actual flue system. Well, actually, maybe not quite there, but there's a flat area. Here we go. So we start getting into corbelled and flat areas that hinder the rise of combusted fuel. Exposed rebar. So we have a system that, and then additionally we have not only a short chimney, we have a small flue, basically the passageway, the ultimate passageway to the exit point for the gases is smaller than it should be. A lot of debris in the back smoke shelf area, and we have a damper that does not open as it should. So we have a system that has definitely a few areas that need to be addressed if the system is going to function as it should. We have a gas log system. Let's make one thing clear. As far as standards go for fire safety, the fact that you're burning a gas log system doesn't change the fact that it's not done or installed correctly, the actual chimney system. In other words, standards are the same regardless of what we are burning. We have a hearth extension which is quite a bit higher than the actual firebox. That can definitely hinder drafting as well. We have brickwork down here where there's gaps between the bricks. I'm not quite sure what they did here. Excuse me, let me take a look at one thing down here. As we look down here, we can see we have a lot of block work below. What I'm really trying to say is this isn't the end of our masonry. The end of our masonry is out to here, which is a good thing. But we still shouldn't have the gaps between the masonry. Not a big deal. You know, with an improperly ratioed system, meaning the flue is too small for the fireplace, to talk about corrections. Ultimately, if you just really got to have this size of the fireplace, you may just have to install a fan at the top. What I would do first is I would correct the smoke chamber surfaces with a barge coating, smoothing all surfaces, creating better transition between materials, etc., and I would extend the chimney by 1 flue tile. Normally I would say 2, but you can't really feasibly do that by 2 flue tiles and still maintain a structural integrity. So with that, I would go 1 flue tile. Spark arrest a rain current, trim the trees, raise the log grate so that it's higher than this, so air will flow underneath the fuel better. May even, if you're willing, you may even put a 4 to 6 inch smoke guard in there to lower the opening like that. I don't think architecturally it'll mess with the design, but that's my opinion. And then operate the system. If it functions, and basically what I mean is drafts correctly, great, then you don't need a fan. But if it doesn't draft correctly, you're either going to have to drastically modify the fireplace itself, or you're going to need some sort of fan installation. So keep in mind, if I have to give a definitive here as far as what to do, then I would say put a fan system on here, and of course correct the smoke chamber, and really I think the flue should be extended as well. If I am allowed to give a question mark, meaning you may have to do more but do this first, then I would talk about everything else but the fan first, and then ultimately when may have to do the fan, or again drastically modify the firebox to accommodate the chimney. Ensure you review my written report for all my findings and recommendations.